Good morning, beautiful person. Greetings from slippery Winnipeg. Yeah, I'm going to walk like a penguin and hope that it all goes well. If not, you'll have more excitement on this video than you bargained for. But hopefully that won't happen. So, my name is Untitled Chapter. I'm a life coach and a wellness advocate, and I help beautiful people like you choose life. And what do I mean by that? So my mother passed away at the age of 69 from complications of diabetes, and she never got to see my kids grow up. And it wasn't because she didn't know how to take care of herself. It's because she just had other priorities until it was too late. So I don't want that to happen to me, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why I'm out here in the freezing drizzle talking to you about all of these things. So so learning from mistakes, that seems pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, when we're toddlers, when we're little kids, it's really easy for us to learn from our mistakes. We get up, we try to walk, we fall, we bang our heads, we cry, we get up, because we're learning how to do something new, and we make mistakes, and it's all good. And I believe that everyone who is not physically prevented from doing that is going to learn to walk eventually, because they will learn from their mistakes. I've never heard of a toddler who just gave up and said, okay, I am just not going to walk. This is just too hard for me to learn. I'm not going to walk. They don't do that. They keep learning from their mistakes. So what is it that why do we lose that willingness to make mistakes, fall down, hurt ourselves, bang our heads, cry, get up again? A lot of people lose that. And it's an interesting question, like, why do we lose that and how do we get it back? And I was going to say part of the answer, but I think actually it's the whole answer, is the way we are socialized to be afraid of judgment. And when you are afraid of other people's judgment, you are going to be afraid of what they're going to think of you if you make a mistake. I know people who are so tightly wound in that regard. God forbid they should ever be imperfect or appear to be imperfect. It actually doesn't matter whether they are imperfect or not. What matters is that they should appear to be perfect. And they get very upset, and they just give up if they perceive themselves as being anything less than perfect. And where do they get that from? Because I know that they can walk, which means that when they were toddlers, they didn't care about being perfect. They just learned how to walk. So where did they pick up that fear of judgment along the way? So a lot of us grew up in families where expected behavior was rewarded. So, I mean, to some extent that is necessary if you're going to raise people who don't kill each other. And, if people have to learn how to function in society, especially now when we are seeing so many people who apparently did not learn the lesson about caring for other people and inconveniencing themselves in order to protect people they don't even know. So that's a whole different rant. And it's actually not what I wanted to talk about today, although maybe it's connected. Maybe it's connected. But the point is that if you learn these lessons all too well, especially if you are of the female persuasion, then you are afraid that if you make a mistake, then you will be seen as lesser. And you're like, I'm already seen as lesser just because of who I am. Or I see myself as lesser because of who I am. And that is something that a lot of us struggle with. And it's certainly something that I struggle with. Always thinking that I could never live up to the expectations that I perceive are being put on me. But I should probably do a separate video about that. But, let's not get hit by a car. Always a good thing to not get hit by cars when I'm out talking and not really paying attention to what's going on around me. Always a dangerous thing. So, how do we learn from our mistakes? The most important thing is to realize that most mistakes are not fatal. If you're driving and not paying attention, you might make a mistake that is fatal to you or to somebody else. And so you should not. This is why I am walking and not driving while I do these videos. I'm not likely to kill anybody if I walk into a tree or something. But you have to realize that your mistakes are not likely to kill you or anybody else. And so, what is it? Loosen your bone, Wilma? Is that the statement? I'm not even sure. I know it's a Flintstones reference, but I'm not entirely sure what exactly it refers to. But I think it has to do with getting a little more relaxed about how you're perceived by other people. Because guess what? It is a fact, 100% scientific fact, that not everybody is going to like you. That not everybody is going to admire and love you. Even me. Not everybody likes me. Not everybody admires and loves me. Shocking. So it's okay to be judged by other people. It's totally okay for other people to think that you made a mistake. It's totally okay. It's fine. Really. So that is the first step in learning from our mistakes, is acknowledging that we made one and that it's okay. And in most cases, like I said, if you were involved in a vehicle situation that ended up with somebody dying, then I'm so sorry, and that is going to be much harder to recover from. But in the large majority of mistakes that we make in life, nobody died, and we can pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and say, okay, what can I learn from this? And that is such an important question. It's a super important question. And if you can get to the point where you can ask yourself this question, what can I learn from this? Then you are way, way, way ahead of the game. So really, that is the answer to the question that I posed there, how to learn from your mistakes. So step one, accept that it's okay for you to not be perfect. In fact, in many ways, it can be a good thing to not be perfect, because you're setting a great example for your children and other people who might be learning from you, that it's okay to make mistakes. And then the second step, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And then the third step is to conclude what you can learn from this mistake and put it into action. Feel your feelings. Don't deny if you're feeling angry or upset or whatever, but don't just wallow there. Don't just stay there. Oh, hi, Faggy. Thanks for jumping on. But just do these 3 steps. So 1, acknowledge that you made a mistake and it's okay. 2, ask yourself, well, what can I learn from this? And 3, do whatever you learned from this. Implement it. So that next time, maybe you won't make that mistake, or maybe you will, but you'll do it differently. My mother used to say, with all 3 of her children, she never made the same mistake twice. She made new ones. And I can certainly say the same is true of my kids. We make new mistakes. We try not to make the same mistake twice, and so we make new ones. That's life. So I hope that was helpful. If it was, I would be super appreciative if you would do the things that social media platforms like. Comment, like, share, all the things. And also I have a PDF in which I've put a list of things that I find very helpful in stressful times, ways to reduce stress. If you'd like this PDF, just drop me a message. I will be happy to send it to you and to help you reduce stress in this crazy time. So you have a great day. Remember, I love you. And if you want that PDF, just drop me a message. Have a great day. Bye.